Chaos isn't a pit. Chaos is a ladder.
This is the iconic "Chaos is a ladder" scene, and it is far more than a simple conversation. It is a profound articulation of the two competing ideologies that define the entire Game of Thrones. On one side, you have Varys, the Master of Whisperers, who sees the realm as a fragile institution to be protected. On the other, Lord Petyr Littlefinger Baelish, a man who sees the throne as nothing more than the ultimate prize in a game. This is the moment where the unwritten rules of the game are spoken aloud, and we, the audience, are finally shown the terrifying blueprint for Littlefinger's ambition. To understand the raw power of this scene, we must first appreciate the preceding moves on the chessboard that led to this confrontation. As always, let's set the context. The conversation is ignited by a recent political victory for Littlefinger. He has successfully thwarted Varys' plan to marry Sansa Stark to the Tyrells, a move that would have brought a measure of stability to the court. Instead, Littlefinger engineered a situation that benefits himself. This success, coupled with Littlefinger's upcoming departure for the Eyrie to pursue Lady Arryn and the title that comes with her, forms the backdrop of this scene. The scene opens with the two men gazing at the Iron Throne, the central, silent character in their drama. Its very presence visually underscores the high stakes of their discussion and the brutal nature of the power they manipulate. Varys begins by reciting the legend, the story that gives the throne its power.
1,000 blades, taken from the hands of Aegon's fallen enemies.
There aren't 1,000 blades. There aren't even 200. I've counted.
In this single exchange, their entire conflict is laid bare. Varys sees the world through the lens of institutions, symbols, and the collective narratives that create order. Littlefinger sees only the quantifiable, unvarnished reality beneath the lie. He has literally counted the blades, reducing the awesome symbol of conquest to a mere piece of furniture. This highlights his detachment and his opportunistic gaze. For him, the throne is not a sacred symbol, but a tangible object to be acquired. The conversation quickly moves from the symbolic to the personal. Littlefinger, reveling in his victory, directly taunts Varys about his foiled plan for Sansa, but the friendly veneer of their rivalry shatters when Littlefinger mentions the fate of Varys' informant, the prostitute Ross. He speaks of her with chillingly transactional language.
But your confidant, the one who fed you information about my plans, the one you swore to protect, you didn't bring her any enjoyment. And she didn't bring me any enjoyment. She was a bad investment on my part. Luckily, I have a friend who wants to try something new, something daring. And he was so grateful to me for providing this fresh experience.
This is a horrifying confession veiled as a business anecdote. Ross's murder at the hands of Joffrey was a direct consequence of Littlefinger's machinations. His ability to speak of it so casually is a visceral demonstration of his amoral philosophy. It aligns perfectly with Robert Greene's Law 26, keep your hands clean, where one uses others as scapegoats and cat's paws, ensuring one's own hands are never soiled by nasty deeds. Littlefinger's actions lead to deadly consequences for others, leaving him ostensibly untouched and in a position to profit from the fallout. Varys, ever the statesman, attempts to reclaim the moral high ground, justifying his actions with his recurring mantra,
I did what I did for the good of the realm.
This is the core of Varys' philosophy. He prioritizes peace and stability, viewing the established order as a necessary bulwark against suffering. He sees himself as a pragmatic guardian, willing to engage in morally ambiguous acts for the sake of a greater, collective good. Littlefinger, however, refuses to let him have it. He attacks the very foundation of Varys' argument by questioning the existence of the thing he claims to serve.
The realm. Do you know what the realm is? It's the 1,000 blades of Aegon's enemies. A story we agreed to tell each other over and over till we forget that it's a lie.
This is a devastatingly cynical and insightful deconstruction of power. Littlefinger posits that the entire political and social structure of the Seven Kingdoms is a fabrication, a collective illusion. He is arguing that there is no inherent truth to titles, laws, or even the concept of a unified kingdom. only a story people have chosen to believe. This is a direct assault on Varys' entire reason for being. If the realm is a lie, then Varys is merely a servant of that lie. Varys, confronted with this nihilism, offers a desperate, impassioned defense of the lie. He poses a question that reveals his deepest fear.
But what do we have left once we abandon the lie? Chaos. A gaping pit waiting to swallow us all.
For Varys, chaos is the ultimate evil. It is an existential threat, an abyss of disorder that will consume everything and everyone. His work is a constant, desperate effort to keep the realm from falling into this pit. He believes in the necessity of order, even an imperfect one, because the alternative is annihilation. It is here that Littlefinger delivers his iconic, philosophy-defining monologue, directly refuting Varys' vision of chaos as a pit and offering his own terrifying alternative.
Chaos isn't a pit. Chaos is a ladder. Many who try to climb it fail, but never get to try again. The fall breaks them. And some are given a chance to climb, but they refuse. They cling to the realm, or the gods, or love, illusions. Only the ladder is real. The climb is all there is.
This is the core of his amoral blueprint for power. He sees instability not as a danger, but as the ultimate opportunity for advancement. This monologue is a chilling articulation of a deeply Machiavellian worldview. His dismissal of the realm or the gods or love as illusions aligns perfectly with Machiavelli's argument that a ruler must prioritize pragmatism over morality, and that emotional attachments are vulnerabilities. Littlefinger sees these concepts as weaknesses that prevent people from achieving true power. His entire career is a testament to this belief. He is a master of virtu, cunning and skill, who exploits the fortune of unpredictable circumstances. He actively creates the chaos he needs to ascend, a perfect embodiment of Green's Law 39, stir up waters to catch fish. His actions are a masterclass in deception and concealed intentions, as he constantly appears to be helping others while only ever serving his own relentless ambition. The scene leaves us with a profound and unsettling understanding of the two forces shaping the future of Westeros. Their duel is not one of good versus evil, but of two different kinds of pragmatism. Varys is the pragmatic guardian of stability. He believes in the system, the necessary lie of the realm, because he fears the alternative is a pit of suffering that will consume everyone. His is a utilitarian philosophy, aimed at preserving peace for the collective, even if it requires dirty hands. Littlefinger is the amoral architect of opportunity. He believes the system is a fiction, and that chaos is the only true reality. By placing both characters in the majestic, imposing throne room, reinforces the high stakes of their discussion. And the symbolic weight of the Iron Throne are likely emphasized through camera angles that use longitudinal planes and perspective, drawing the viewer's eye towards the throne. The close proximity of both characters in the frame, while discussing the same object with such divergent viewpoints, creates visual contrast in their philosophies, despite physical affinity. This contrast intensifies the dynamic of the scene. The throne itself, with its sharp, jagged design, symbolizes the brutal nature of the power they both covet and manipulate. Their discussion, framed against this formidable backdrop, uses the visual components of space, line, and implied movement through dialogue. It is a battle between a man who would preserve order to prevent suffering and a man who would create suffering to achieve power. And as the story unfolds, we are left to wonder which is the more dangerous game to play.